On the news tonight, Minister of Information re-echoes Nigeria's unprecedented journey of reforms at business France. And students in FCT takes mock examination in preparations for 2025 JAMB. Glad to have you join us on NTA Channel 5 News at 7. I am Blessing Fulani. Remember to join our YouTube channel on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. The Nigerian Business Forum, being organized by Business France, is ongoing in Paris, France. The leader of federal government delegation to the forum, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, re-echoed Nigeria's unprecedented journey of reforms, including the unification and stabilizing of the forex regime, phasing out of fuel subsidy, ambitious tax reforms, trade and investment reforms, as well as effective immigration and border management, among others. These initiatives, the minister added, are redefining Nigeria as the most compelling nation in Africa for would-be investors. The minister at the forum signed a memorandum of understanding between the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation and Samsung Group, a French company, on audio-video content migration. Details of the ongoing event will come your way in our subsequent bulletin. And to promote socio-economic empowerment of women, the Royal Ambassadors Gathering Week 2025 has been organized to drive sustainable impacts, innovations, and development. Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, pledged continued government support for initiatives that create opportunities for women to thrive. Ramata Abdullahi reports.
Although many Nigerian women are entrepreneurs and work hard to improve their livelihoods, they often need to belong to organizations that provide them with a voice and attract government support for access to finances, knowledge sharing, and skills development. The collaboration among the Royal Ambassadors Family Enlightenment Foundation, Young Women's Rights Empowerment, and Green Revolution Farmers creates a strong force for driving significant sustainable impact.
The essence of this is to make sure that women are being empowered. The nation cannot neglect the gender. They are very important in whatever we are doing. Whatever we are today, without a woman, we will not be there.
We have embarked in so many projects already. Training of members in skill acquisition. As a human rights activist, the legal department of the organization also works, in protecting the rights of women.
Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, said empowering women has far-reaching economic implications for nation building. She emphasized that her ministry will continue to work with stakeholders to promote gender inclusion, create opportunities, and address the challenges facing women and youth.
A lot of funds has gone into it, and so we also want you, in return, when you get back to your different states, your different local governments in the 36 states of Nigeria, including FCT, to work tirelessly, making sure that you bring other women up.
The event featured the inauguration of the national and state executives of the Young Women Rights Empowerment and Support Initiative.
With this very organization, I will make sure the women of Nigeria and Africa at large should be in the forefront of governance.
The theme of the Royal Ambassadors Gathering Week 2025 is Building Global Partnerships for Sustainable Impacts, Innovations and Development. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Focused on the objectives to increase awareness and knowledge on vaccines and RI schedule through targeted messaging in a bid to stimulate parents to demand for vaccines for their children to achieve 90% coverage of target antigens in the FCT. FCT Primary Healthcare Board and partners held a stakeholders town hall meeting for its third round Big Catch Up campaign to achieve full vaccination for children in the FCT. Cecilia Julius reports.
The third round Big Catch-Up campaign brought together stakeholders and partners in the health sector as they brainstorm on ways to intensify efforts to vaccinate every child in the area councils of the FCT and roll out zero dose in every community. Speaking on the role of stakeholders in the uptake of Big Catch-Up campaign and reduce non-compliance during April National Immunization Plus days, resource persons harp on the need for all hands to be on deck to promote vaccines as preventive measures.
The whole world now is going into preventive medicine, not curative. You don't wait until disease catches you before you start seeking for health care. You prevent it. The best way, the very first and the best way to prevent it is by vaccination.
Their influence on non-compliance institutions such as Islamic and Quranic schools, churches and mosques should be exploited as their presence in the general meeting with management of institutions can help influence their decision on immunization and also help in sensitization of the parents.
So I encourage all the heads of house to please allow your wives to carry their children to health centers for vaccination. Prevention is better than cure.
Communities in the FCT are called upon to cooperate with healthcare workers as they embark on the immunization.
The catch-up is an opportunity for the children missed during COVID-19, and for someone or reason, maybe the father or the parent, they left another state to another state whereby they were not chanced for their immunization, for their what? Now is an opportunity for them to be vaccinated.
With this vaccination, our children will be more healthy, they will go to school, but when they hesitate, we end up seeing more crippled children. So with the work of Chikari Foundation, we are collaborating with the Primary Healthcare Board, FCT, and the traditional leaders to see how we can break through the communities and create more demand for the uptake of vaccine.
We have cases of children that they have never had the vaccination, that is zero dose, like in Amak and Abaji. We'll ensure that our community members in those areas mobilize those the community to ensure that it is done.
The Acting Executive Secretary, Primary Healthcare Board, Rukaya Wamako, also appealed to healthcare workers in the state to call off the ongoing strike in the area councils. In Abuja, Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
And talking education now, students in the Federal Capital Territory FCT have commenced their 2025 mock examination, a crucial preparatory step for the upcoming Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB examination. Sandra Keme visited some computer-based test CBT centers to observe the proceedings and gather insights from the students. Hello, Sandra.
I'm right here at the Dantata Universal CBT Center, where some students are writing their mock exams. But the situation here is that cameras are not allowed into the exam hall.
And the environment was calm, no noise, so it was chill. And the supervisors were nice.
But the systems had issues. Yes. It was just going off and on. But sometimes to log out by itself, so they have to call them to log in again.
Let me say I'm not fully prepared. So I just came here to assess myself, and I'm sure I'm 80%.
So all in all, the hardest paper I wrote was physics, because it's this more on calculation and you have to assess yourself. And if you do not tackle it well, sorry to say, you're not going to pass it.
The only hard one there was English, in others words that you have to find the meaning of and the rest. Yeah, but I think I can do well in my original JAM.
Part of JAM, they've done well in terms of giving up the date on time, letting students know all what it entails to get the materials and everything needed for the exam process. But of course, we know technical glitches here and there would definitely happen and all. But to the best of my knowledge, even as center owners, we are being dealt with if we did not comply with the standard by JAMB.
However, at most centers visited, students were already done with their examinations, but they are optimistic about achieving improved results in their upcoming Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board examination. In Abuja, Sandra Akeme, NTA News.
The inauguration of the Grace of God Humanitarian World Forum highlighted the profound impact of giving on individuals and communities. Speakers at the event emphasized the importance of feeding the needy and creating initiatives that align with core values. Hawajimba reports that the founder of the group, Evangelist Oluwafumilayo Aishat Okedei, aims to create a more compassionate and equitable society for the less privileged.
Philanthropy can have a profound impact on individuals and communities. By working together, non-governmental organizations can create positive change and support those in need. The Grace of God Humanitarian World Forum serves as a joint body emphasizing the importance of kindness, empathy, and generosity. The forum brought together non-governmental organizations to support those in need. Speakers emphasized the importance of giving and helping the less privileged, highlighting the benefit of philanthropy and the role of faith in inspiring charitable work.
I'm meant to be a giver, and giving, it brings a lot of blessings. By the time you release to the poor, you give to the poor, or you give to the blessed, God will in turn bless you back. Givings open doors.
If the less privileged are assisted or are gifted, definitely it reduces the stress and problems in the society.
The host, Evangelist Oluwafumilayo Aisha Okedi, emphasized that giving the less privileged is a calling from God. She noted that coming together as one body will help alleviate the suffering of people in the society.
We are looking out for the Almighty God, and that's the truth. And whoever that God touch to support, because looking for people, it's not like God. Coordinate together, collaborate together, so that we can help the poor, we can help the less privileged, and so that we can stop hunger.
For the heads of non-governmental organizations who travel from far and near, this collective effort aims to encourage support for those in need.
By coming together, there is spirit in unity. There is power in unity. When we come together, like I give praise to our able leader. Is capable of doing that.
So when I had an opportunity to come together, it gladdens my hand. I see it as a way to fulfill the vision and the calling that God has already given to me.
Being human being is not enough, but having that humanity in you matters.
The inauguration of the Grace of God Humanitarian World Forum seeks to provide support to those in need through initiatives such as feeding the hungry. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Indeed, giving attracts God's blessing. Many thanks, Hawa. Now a bit of road safety. Just imagine having an articulated truck in front of you, and in the verge of overtaking it, you realize the person behind the wheels of the 22-tire vehicle is a young and underage person. What will you do? Well, a typical scenario at different quarters, raising questions of why the increase of such in the society. In this special report, Oyeyemi Ajayi takes on the story of Omolade Ademola, a 22-year-old female truck driver.
They say driving an articulated vehicle isn't just for anyone. It's a job for the matured, the brave, and most importantly, the certified. Why? Because these aren't your everyday sedans. They are beasts on the highways, long, heavy, and unforgiving in the wrong hands. So when you see a fresh-faced driver, barely in their 20s, gripping the wheel of a cement-loaded truck, it raises more than just eyebrows. It raises serious concerns. Now, we are talking accidents. 4 every single day on average, involving trailers and tankers. And according to analysts, a troubling number of those are traced back to younger, less experienced drivers. Now let's take Omolade Ademola. She's 22 and a truck driver. To many online, she's a sensation, brave, fearless. Some even call her a heroine. She's been behind the wheels of articulated trucks for 3 years now, navigating Nigeria's highways from state to state, hauling cement loads like a pro. But not everyone is cheering. To the Federal Road Safety Corps, it's not about what a man can do, a woman can do better. It's about what the law says.
She's just 22, which is far, far, far from the qualified age to drive articulated vehicle. He never even learned how to drive smaller cars, which is an indication that he has failed the first test of going through the first either private or commercial smaller cars before you can even apply to drive articulated vehicle. And thirdly, he does not belong to any association, and so neither can we say he's been able to go through proficiency tests before seeing such a person. So what we are celebrating there, I would rather call it a disaster.
Omolade's story isn't just a gender headline. It's a window into a bigger issue. Young, underage, and often uncertified drivers commanding giant machines that can kill with a single mistake. And while Omolade may appear confident behind the wheels, road safety experts warn that one confident driver doesn't erase the risk posed by many reckless ones.
We need the collaboration of all the road users on all Nigerians, that anywhere we see this kind of incident, just like it's being brought to the fore now, it should be a joint effort.
Subscription, letters and likes online won't fix this, but stronger enforcement, stricter certification and accountability might, before the next deadly mistake makes the news. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Now let's join the sports desk for Sports Brief.
Shooting Stars Sports Club has been fined 5 million and their home stadium, Lakon Salami Stadium, closed to fans for the rest of the season. The fine was imposed due to security breaches during their match day 32 clash against Ikorodu City, where the visiting team's bus was damaged and their supporters assaulted. The MPFL Disciplinary Committee found Shooting Stars guilty of failing to provide adequate security, ensure proper conduct of their supporters, and allowing objects to be thrown at match officials. Meanwhile, 3 teams have officially booked their places in the 2024-2025 Nigerian Women Football League Premier Super 6. Edo Queens edged Remo Stars Ladies 1-0 in the top of the table Group A clash, extending their unbeaten run. Rivers Angels secured qualification despite losing 3-0 to FC Robo Queens, ending their 10-game unbeaten streak. Bayelsa Queens cemented their place with a 2-0 victory over Benue Queens, continuing their unbeaten run. Finally, Barcelona trashed Borussia Dortmund 4-0 in the first leg of their Champions League quarter-final. Robert Lewandowski scored twice with a goal in the 48th and 66th minutes. Rafinha opened the scoring in the 25th minute and assisted Lewandowski's first goal. Lamine Yamal sealed the win with a goal in the 77th minute. Barcelona's dominant performance leaves them in a strong position to reach the semi-finals for the first time since 2019. The second leg is scheduled for April 15th in Dortmund. With Sports Brief, Wayne Dogo, NTA News.
Thanks, Wayne. And that ends the English version of the news for tonight. Up next is translation. Good evening.
ma ba je sha je wo wona ya mi ba da sa ko ba ku sha ba dai yi wa na ba shi ba dai wo mo press ba yi ba woni ba je na ba je go gai yi ki la kwa su do na saraki ai ina yi ga France ni ba je ko gi na anya dai ba gogo ba 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 yi ki na bigi lo nya kwa zo ko ba do na ya je minista bada gwamnati ta shi ba gwamnati ya Muhammad Idris owo bello badagun France ki ko ji enyayi eyi ti ye kwa yi wada nge na giwe na yeshi na abwa mu zokwo yi bado ki gadogo nyayi gwamnati ye kwa je ko nu na giwe ye ya kwa iba ko ba la yi ki ya kwa wu wa ko to nge we na lo nsheba mbo bada de he baba da na ya eso ko baba vi wo ba da ivi adudu ya pe enya ekin eyin ko esin bada France anabaji ya bada yi josun ke ebi na ya ba abi na ya ba moto pe ye ba ala ya ba ika nge ba moto ba pe ye ya ba ya ka ye nya ekin da ye Sandra kime wada nge ya ba adudu shi ba kisin da ya shi kwala fita ya fiya ba shi abi asokonu ba mi ba shi baba ka inye ya peye ba mutu na gbai ko bele na biyin ko ba se inye agbado ya ba mutu na gbai ya lo ya ba dai inge ba shi kwa wu abi ba peye bato kwa ga abi a yega kwa kawa ne ya shi ba ka anya wu kuma anya na ba peye ye ba ka na ba gi inge ba mutu ka abi ba ka ko ba da inge ba mutu ya peye ka ye ko ye ko la yegu ba ya ko ba shi ba ngaci ya lo ba pe soko Oyeyemi Ajayi eyi anabaji goga tete shi ya wa belo sheba ni wa dai enge sanu hobe na mato zoko luku haje mato na gbai ntulo kwa izaza za oweji mato na gbai yenyi haje obi chewinu ogna wegi mato na gbaye abo toshi ba da za bugbawo ntuge ebi chewi bagbatu te yege wegi mato na gbaye obo nu eyi anabaji go na yi be ebi aye shibachi aba ayiwo oge omolade ademola wegi nge mato na gbaye ebi anya wa benyanya wenda nge nya kwashi wesa abwe kwenyi abwa mbate shashan ba rivi woni wasa ina sai so ko ba ba shi ilu bagbatu sasai ya tudu ibaji anabaji wo su shapasi sai so
Jama'a masu kallo da sauraron mu a daidai wannan lokaci assalamu alaikum barkanmu da warhaka da fatan ana nan cikin ƙoshin lafiya a takaice ga fasarar wasu daga cikin labaran mu na yau mai karantawa Yusuf Yakubu. Jagoran bulaguran tawagar 'yan Najeriya zuwa ƙasar Faransa ministan sadarwa da al'adu na ƙasa Muhammad Idris ya sake jaddada namijin ƙoƙarin da gwamnatin Najeriya mai ci ta yi wajen samar da sauye-sauyen ci gaban ƙasa da ci gaban al'umma wanda suka haɗa da cire tallafin man fetur, bunƙasa harajin ƙasa, lura da iyakokin ƙasa da sauransu. Ministan ya ƙara da cewa gwamnati ta ɗauki wannan matakan ne domin haɓaka tattalin arzikin ƙasar, samar da tarin ci gaba mai ɗorewa a matsayin Najeriya na uwa mai ba da mama a ƙasashen nahiyar Afirka. Ɗaliban da suka gama karatun sakandare a makarantun Abuja sun fara rubuta mock wato jarabawar gwada iliminsu a jarabawar share fagen shiga jami'o'in ƙasa wato JAMB domin samun ilimin yadda za su tunkari jarabawar da samun nasarar shiga jami'o'i. Wakiliyarmu Sandra Akime ta kai ziyara wasu cibiyoyin na'ura mai ƙwaƙwalwa inda ake rubuta jarabawar ta kuma shaida mana cewa ta samu ɗaliban suna rubuta jarabawar bayyana cewa komai na tafiya daidai. Wasu kuma suka yi ƙorafi akan na'ura mai ƙwaƙwalwa wanda sau tari suka ce tana ɗaukewa ta dawo ta ci gaba da aiki. Yadda mutane masu ƙarancin shekaru ke tuƙa manyan motocin haya akan manyan titunan ƙasa na ci gaba da zama abin mamaki da cece-kuce la'akari da shekarunsu, wanda sau tari na sa ayar tambaya akan ƙwarewarsu, wanda jami'an hukumomin kare haɗuran hanya suka ce akwai shekarun da sai ka kai za ka tuƙa manyan motoci irin waɗannan. Wakilinmu Oyeyemi Ajayi ya haɗo mana rahoto cewa wata Omolade Ademola 'yar shekara 22 wadda ke tuƙa babbar motar ɗiban kaya, lamarin da ke ci gaba da haifar da muhawara da cece-kuce a tsakanin 'yan ƙasa da hukumomi masu ruwa da tsaki, cewa ina gizo ke saƙar ganin cewa ta bar muhallinta na neman taro da kwabo a matsayinta na 'ya mace, wanda wasu suka ce ba komai bane tamkar neman halaliya. To a takaice labaran namu ne kenan, sai kuma gobe idan Allah ya kai mu. Kwana lafiya.
Igbo bụ Igbo, ekele m unu nọ na akụkọ nke uhuruchi taa na nkenke. Ọgbakọ ịtụ mgbere nke ndị ji ego achụ ego na-aga n'ihu ugbu a na mba Paris, isi obodo mba France. Onye ndu nke gọọmenti etiti Naịjirịa n'ọgbakọ a ma bụkwara minista mgbasa ozi ala anyị Mohammed Idris kọwatara ndị nọ na ọgbakọ a ọtụtụ atụmatụ mgbanwe nke gọọmenti etiti wetagoro n'ime ala anyị, bụ nke o kwuru gụnyere mwepụ ego a na-akwụbinata n'ọnụ ego a na-azụta mmanụ ụgbọala nke nwa bekee kpọrọ removal of subsidy, mmegharị iwu ụtụ isi nakwa ọtụtụ ngalaba uto ọnọdụ akụnụba ala anyị dị iche iche. Ugbu a ya bụ minista mechara binye aka na akwụkwọ nzụkọrịta ahịa n'etiti ala anyị nakwa mba France. Ụmụ akwụkwọ sekọndịrị n'ime FCT amalitego ule nwa bekee kpọrọ mock, ule ndị dị oke mkpa eji akwadebe maka ule ịbanye mahadum akpọrọ JAMB n'asụ bekee n'ala anyị gbaa gburugburu. Onye nta akụkọ anyị bụ Sandra Akami gagharịrị na ọtụtụ ebe a na-ele ule a ma gbakwa ụmụ akwụkwọ ajụjụ ọnụ, bụ ndị nke kọwatara otu obi siri dị ha. Ụfọdụ dị si na ya bụ ule gara chịrịrị were, ụfọdụ kwuru na ọtụtụ ọgbata uhie dị n'ime ya, mana anya. Kedu etu obi ga-esi adị gị mgbe ị na-achọ ịgafe gwongworo n'etiti ụzọ ma chọpụta na ọ bụ obere nwa nke afọ ya pere mpe nke ukwuu nọ na-akwọ ya bụ ụgbọala? Ma ka ọ dị, nke a bụ akụkọ na-apụtagasị n'ọnụ ụmụ amaala n'ọtụtụ mpaghara ogbe dị iche iche n'ala anyị. N'akụkọ a pụtara iche, Oyeyemi Ajayi nyobere anya n'akụkọ gbasara Omolade Ademola, nwa agbọghọbịa dị 22 na-anya gwongworo na-ebu ntụ eji arụ ụlọ nke nwa bekee kpọrọ cement, nke ha kwuru na ọ bụ ihe ịtụnanya ma bụkwara ihe nwere ike ibute ọdachi na mberede nke okporo ụzọ nakwa ọtụtụ ihe mgbu dị iche iche, gụnyekwere ọnwụ nakwa ihe mberede dị iche iche nke okporo ụzọ. Ndewo gị bụ onye ọma gere ntị na uhuruchi taa. Etu a ka anyị si wetara gị ya bụ nchịkọta akụkọ nke uhuruchi taa. Ọ dịkwa echi mgbe ị ga-anụ olu anyị ọzọ. Ndewo.